Hi again, and welcome back to our video series on the math department. In this video, we're going to talk about a few of the department-sponsored extracurricular activities for students. Let's start with a couple of our student groups. One of the oldest student groups in the department are the Smart Girls, although they're also open to guys. Smart Girls is a social club which allows you to meet other students, perhaps form study groups, find ways of getting some help, occasionally doing community service, and just having fun. A second of our student groups is called Prime. This one is relatively new. Prime stands for Pursuing Research in Mathematical Endeavors. Prime was started to be less of a social club, although they do socialize, and more of a math-themed club, in the sense that you're going to do math activities, a lot of them related to doing research. It's a fantastic complement to the Smart Girls, and we find that most of our students like to be a part of both. Next, I want to tell you about our department's thriving seminar and colloquia series. Seminars and colloquia are both an opportunity for us to bring in faculty members, either from our own department or very often from other departments, to give talks about their research. With a seminar, you expect the level to be fairly high, and so you at first aren't going to understand a whole lot. As you take more classes, as you attend more seminars, you're going to find you can track them a lot more easily. Colloquia, on the other hand, those are more general audience talks, so you should expect to understand a lot more of the talk at first. Having gone to a lot of them, you're going to start to notice lots of connections. And you're also going to find that it sort of takes the material you learned in class and kind of shaves down the edges a little bit, right? It's like sanding a piece of wood. It helps you to understand what were the things that I really needed to know in those classes. What is going to show up over and over again, even once I get up into higher level mathematics. Every year on the first Saturday of December since 1938, thousands of undergraduates from across North America sit down to take a math test. That's right, a math test. It's called the Putnam exam, and it's one of the hardest math tests in the world. What you're going to get on the Putnam exam is 12 questions. You'll get 6 in the morning and 6 in the afternoon. And for each of those sessions, they give you 3 hours, so 6 hours in all. Each problem is worth 10 points, so you get 120 points for the exam. And in any given year, the median score is going to be between 0 and 3. If you score a 42 out of 120, most years that's going to put you in about the top 1% of the entire continent. So it's pretty serious business. Now, historically, Cal State Fullerton has had a tremendous run as a Putnam team. We get usually between 10 and 20 students to take it. And we've had several students over the past decade who have scored in the 30s, which is absolutely tremendous. It's an amazing accomplishment, and it takes a lot of work to get there. Now, in order to help facilitate this, we have on Fridays in the fall something called the Problem Solving Seminar. So Dr. Suchava is the one who runs this, and each week he's going to bring in faculty from the department to tell you about some sort of problem-solving technique. So you might have one on the pigeonhole principle, or on how to solve calculus problems, or how to use determinants in linear algebra. Whether or not you're going to take the Putnam exam, these problem-solving seminars are a fantastic way for you to see some new mathematics, or to see how to apply some of the mathematics that you've already learned. And I highly recommend you attend. While you're at Cal State Fullerton, you expect to take many math courses, and they're going to be fantastic for learning the fundamentals of mathematics. However, in terms of your overall body of knowledge, those classes are essentially going to be the skeleton. And while a skeleton is an essential, an important part of the body, man, by itself is just scary, right? So you need to find a way to get in the tissue and the joints and the muscle and the blood, right? We need the organs. We need all the other essential parts of a body. And one of the best ways to complete your body of knowledge is by, instead of just reading and answering questions where people already know the answer to them, it's by trying to find your own questions and answer questions that nobody knows how to solve. And that's research. Now, that might sound incredibly daunting and impossible for undergraduates. Maybe you can do that once you have a PhD. But in fact, undergraduate research is one of the most popular things to do in the Cal State Fullerton Math Department. All of the faculty are essentially involved in it. We love having students to do work with, and our students do a tremendous job. Each year, there's something called the Joint Math Meetings. It is a collaborative effort between the Mathematical Association of America, or MAA, and the American Mathematical Society, or AMS. As part of this joint math conference, they have an entire session devoted towards undergraduate research. Usually that'll come in the form of posters, but sometimes students will even do presentations. And pretty much every year, when you go down the list and see which school has provided the most posters at this session, you're looking at MIT. Okay, they're kind of a big deal. And, oh yeah, Cal State Fullerton. Furthermore, there's a panel of judges who will go out and give special awards of distinction to the best posters and the best presentations. And right at the top of that list, is it MIT? Well, sometimes, but more often than not, it's Cal State Fullerton. As faculty, we know that the awesome is already inside you. It's our job just to help you bring it out. Typically, you won't start doing research your first semester at Cal State Fullerton, particularly not if you're a freshman. But once you've finished Calculus 3 or Calculus 4, so we're talking Math 250A or Math 207, you're going to be ready. And you just need to find a professor who will do research with you. Now, that sounds somewhat intimidating and scary, but I can promise you the professors in this department are always on the lookout for new research students. Nothing pleases us more than when a student walks in and says, I want to do research, would you please be my supervisor? So as you can see, the math department has a lot more to offer than just the courses you'll find in the class catalog. I hope to see you someday at the problem solving seminar, or maybe you could even come do some research with me. We'll see you in the next video.